So I'm thinking once a year, I'm going to record going through my collection of old Pokemon cards. And I've been building these up for a long time. And I didn't really make any record of how the collection has grown over the years. So I'm thinking once a year around my birthday, I'd like to just record myself going through the cards, and year by year I can see how it evolves and how I add to the collection. Excuse the binders; they're well used, and I need to upgrade them at some point. But I keep them safe, and basically these two binders have all the way from first edition base set all the way to the e-reader sets and a couple after, but there isn't really much to speak of there. The first binder has my pitiful first edition base set, and there isn't really much to talk about here. I've got the Shadowless Machamp, which it comes in two varieties. Both of them have the first edition emblem. I'd absolutely love to find a Shadowless non-first edition and a shadowed non-first edition. I don't know if they exist or how easy they are to find or whatever, but basically a Shadowless first edition for the first edition base set, it works out. The only other real awesome card I have in this set is the first edition Nidoking. It's in pretty good condition. This is the pride of my first edition set. It's in pretty good condition. And Doug Trio, which is a rare. Some uncommons and commons. Some neat stuff for sure, but my first edition base set leaves a lot to be desired, and I'm slowly building it up. I've got some pages that are close to complete and what have you. My collection really starts picking up at the Shadowless base set. I've got Blastoise, Charizard, and Venusaur. The Charizard is in terrible condition. I will eventually, spend the money to get a good condition one. This one came in a collection. It was just a bad condition, nice card. But of course, it goes in the binder. It's a placeholder, even though it's in bad shape. Don't know how much of that'll come through, but yeah, it's rough. But there it is. I'm only missing a few cards for the Shadowless set. I'm missing Alakazam Holo there, 3 holos here, and one rare non-holo, and I think maybe 1 or 2 other cards, but the majority of my Shadowless my Shadowless base set is in good condition. They're not too hard to find, especially the common and uncommon variants. I'm missing 1 rare trainer there, another rare trainer here, and got mostly everything else. Oh, that's unfortunate. I didn't even notice that. That's a first edition. That's not a Shadowless. That sucks. I'll have to look through my collection to see if I can find another. That's a really good condition, actually. That's a really good condition. First edition trainer. I'm not seeing many imperfections on it, but in any case, so that's another one that I'm missing. I intend to put up a few tutorial videos on how to identify certain things like fakes and whatever, but maybe while I'm at it right now, just because I've got the binders open, I'll pull out a first edition, a Shadowless, and a base set card. It isn't always easy to identify the shadowless non-Pokemon cards, because really the only way to identify them, probably my camera isn't good enough, so I guess you'll just have to take my word on it, but shadowless and first edition, which is by definition shadowless. Let's see if I can... So the bottom two cards are first edition and shadowless respectively. All first edition and shadowless on the date line show 1995, 96, 98, 99. Whereas the base set removes the 99. So 99 is a bit redundant because after the line of dates at the very end, it shows Game Freak 1999 Wizards. So for first edition and shadowless, they kept the 99 in there, which was redundant because it shows 1999 over here as well, but they removed it for the base set. So if you want to find out if you have an energy or a trainer that is shadowless, look for it to say 99 at the end of the string of numbers, and again 1999 here. If it shows a 99 there at the end of the string, then you've got a shadowless or first edition. Of course, first edition's easy to identify because it's got the stamp too. But if it's base, it will not show 99 there. It will terminate at 98. So that's just a little thing there to identify shadowless. I'm going to keep that first edition Professor Oak out, of course, because it doesn't belong. So I'll just quickly put this back away where it belongs. So my shadowless is in decent shape. The Charizard sucks. Oh, I guess I might as well. I might as well show the Venusaur and the Blastoise. So Venusaur is not bad at all. It's got a few scratches on it. The scratches are fairly apparent on old holo Pokemon cards because it shines right through. So I've got a scratch. I can right around there, you know. But it's in pretty good shape overall. Could definitely be much worse, like the Charizard. And the Blastoise, I think is a bit rougher than the Venusaur. It's got general scratching and wear. I'm going to update the trinity of them at some point. But first I want to finish off the set, and then I'm going to upgrade the Charizard because that's in the worst condition by far. And then yeah, maybe I'll do a couple other condition improvements as well. So shadowless, decent shape, doing much better than my first edition. I'm missing a few cards. All the trainers and energies do say 99 on them. It's part of my sorting. Whenever I buy a collection that has old cards, I sort them out into their proper sets, and yeah. So, and then here's the base set. I've got base set complete, and the cards are all in good shape. There's nothing really rough. There's the first edition Machamp with the shadow. It of course would be nice if that stamp was gone, but I think the only ones that you could find like that are misprints. So that would be incredibly difficult to find, I think. But yeah, base set. It's the most popular variant, the most common when everybody jumped into Pokemon collecting, and the set that I have is pretty good. I slowly found condition improvements over the years. Oh, one other thing. I guess while I'm looking at it, so the base set Pikachu has yellow lightning cheeks. I saw lots about the red-cheeked Pikachu, how it's rare, but actually what I've noticed, and I could be mistaken, but in my experience dealing with thousands and thousands of old Pokemon cards, the shadowless and the first edition Pikachus all have red cheeks, unlike the base set Pikachu that has yellow cheeks. So I think that when people identify a red-cheeked Pikachu as a misprint or whatever, I think they're merely misidentifying the shadowless and the first edition variant. So the shadowless variant does have red cheeks, and I'll just go over to see if I've got it on first edition. What number is it? 50? Or 60. In any case, it doesn't look like I have it. No, I don't have it. But should I end up with one? I've seen pictures of it many times, and I've held it. I don't know actually why I don't have one, because it's a common card. But yeah, I saw the base set Pikachu with the yellow cheeks, and I thought I'd mention that. Just a little side thing while I'm going through them. So this is my base set. The cards, especially all the common and uncommon cards, are in good shape, and I did end up with a few good condition Charizards, like base set 2, all that. I'm gonna go through all that in here, so this binder goes from first edition base to Gym Hero Challenger generation, and then the second binder is like the Neos to the e-reader cards. So base set 2, I've got pretty close to complete. I'm missing a few cards. I believe that's Alakazam again, whatever's there, so I'm missing 2 holos there and 1 holo there. Either a holo or just a regular rare there. It's between both of them, so I'm not actually sure. I should look them up at some point, but I haven't been actively sourcing out specific cards. It's just kind of like whenever I buy a collection, and if there's a card that'll fill a hole, or if there's a condition improvement, I'll add it into the binder. So this has really been a lax collecting experience over the years. And then I believe I've got everything else. Maybe I'm missing a trainer or two. I don't know. I'll find out in a moment. Yeah, a few rare cards away from having base set 2. And base set 2 is quite a bit bigger of a set than base set 1. It incorporates cards from Jungle and maybe Fossil. I don't know, but okay. So I'm missing 1 trainer there, and it's not even a rare. I'm missing an uncommon trainer, I guess. Yeah, so missing a few cards, but I've got base set 2 pretty close to complete. And then Jungle, I believe, is complete. Jungle's a really nice set. There's some neat cards. I love the evolutions. They're just gorgeous cards. Jolteon, I think, was my favorite when I was younger. The old evolution cards were really, and I mean, they're still desirable, and they look really cool, and there's something simple about them, before all the fancy EX, GX, whatever stuff. There's just a sort of gorgeous simplicity to them, and they're harder to find in good condition. But the older anything is, the more potential there is for it to get damaged or destroyed or whatever. Yeah, the evolutions, I would say, are what I like about Jungle the most. So I believe Jungle's complete. I've got a whole bunch of first edition variants of whatever, but these are just my complete sets, and I think one day I'll go through all of my spare, holo rares, and maybe I'll put in the effort to trade them off to try to get cards that I need. Yeah, and of course there's the holo and then the non-holo variants, as several of these sets do. Yeah. And then Fossil. There's some really, really nice looking cards in Fossil. I really like the Dragonite and the Gengar. They're neat Pokemon. They're neat cards. The legendary birds, Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno. And then, of course, the rare non-holo variants. And Jungle and Fossil are smaller sets than base, and especially base 2 and whatever. So yeah, base, Jungle, and Fossil are complete. I'm pretty close to Shadowless and base set 2. Rocket, I don't have quite complete, but I'm getting close. This is one of my pride and joys. The very good condition not first edition, sorry, Dark Charizard. this was a really exciting find because I went to pick up a small collection, and from the ad, I saw it in there, but I thought it appeared to be a non-holo variant, which I already had the non-holo version, but it was in really rough shape. So I was excited to get a better condition non-holo Dark Charizard, but upon buying the collection and looking at it afterwards, it turned out to be the holo one, which I didn't have. And in good shape too. So I was really excited about that, and that's just, buying up collections. You tend to, have stories about them, like they've got specific meaning. Whenever you look at a card, the sort of hard one, right? The Dark Blastoise and the Dark Dragonite are really cool too. I'm missing a couple holos there, and I've got that whole page, and yeah, maybe I'm only missing a couple cards for Rocket. Okay, I'm missing one there. The first secret card in Pokemon, the Dark Raichu. I don't know if it'll show up on my camera, but it's 83 out of 82. So this started that trend of very hard to get cards that if you're just looking at the numbers, you won't even know that you're missing it. It's a cool card. I'm not a huge fan of Raichu. It's cool because it's a secret card, and Raichu's kind of cool. I mean, he's, he isn't Mewtwo or whatever, but I mean, yeah, Raichu's an alright Pokemon, evolution of Pikachu, and yeah, it's a secret card. So that one's really neat. And then the last two sets, the Gym Challengers and Heroes, these are in a sorry state. I don't have an easy time finding these sets, and I'm missing quite a few of the holos. I got some, Sabrina's Gengar. I got both Brock and Misty, and here are the non-holo rares. I'm missing 3 of those. Missing a couple there. Missing one here. And then we're into the uncommons, and I'm missing 2 there. And I think the sets are pretty close to complete minus the holos, but just the sheer amount of holos that I'm missing, it's really unfortunate. It's gonna take a lot of work to get those done. So yeah, this is Gym Heroes. Missing a couple cards here. One there, a couple here. There's a lot of trainers in these sets. So many trainers. And yeah, so that's Gym Heroes, and then Gym Challengers. I had Blaine's Charizard and a year or a couple of years ago, and I sold it because I needed the money, which really sucks. I wish I didn't, because that card, it was in really good condition, and it's going to be a pain in the butt to find again. But I guess things are what they are. I'll get it back eventually. But yeah, the amount of holo rares in here is pretty pitiful as well. I'm missing lots of them, and then getting into the non-holo rares, and I guess oh wow, I'm missing a good chunk of uncommons. Missing 4 there, missing 1 over here. 1, 1, yeah. I've got most of the commons and uncommons, but and then a rare trainer, and another 3 trainers there, another 2 trainers. Yeah. I'll fill these more out eventually. But I've been, yeah, like I mentioned, just passively, going through them over the years, and sort of adding cards in here and there, and getting closer to complete with every new card that I add. But it's a long haul, and I am not looking forward to what it's going to take to finish a first edition base set. that Charizard, just I don't know. I'm gonna have to. Hopefully, I can find just a completely destroyed version for a reasonable price. I don't care too much about the condition. I do try to have all good condition cards in the binder, but I'm also not gonna be insane and sell a car to get a card, right? No, one day we'll see. But yeah, so that's the first binder. That's got base to the gym generation. And then second binder, we get into the Neo sets, and similar to the gym sets, I'm missing a lot of holos. These are also pretty difficult for me to find. I've got some good ones, the Pichu's really nice. Missing a couple non-holo rares there, and one uncommon, and missing one there. I mean, actually, minus the holos, the sets are, I guess, pretty complete. Missing one or two cards here and there, but one there. Yeah, I would say it's by far the holos that are giving me problems. So some cool stuff. The Tyranitar is a nice card. I like dragons. I like psychic Pokemon. I like dragons. Ice. Even Glaceon and is a cool, and some dark. Not a huge fan of like Sharpedo or whatever, but Umbreon and Espeon. Those are really really cool Pokemon. So I'm missing a couple there, and 4 here. I'm assuming I've got most of the others. Lots of unknowns. Feels kind of like a waste. I mean, it's called unknown, but it's just a different letter of the alphabet, right? And I'm guessing that's that. And so there's 4 gym sets. Neo sets. There's 4 Neo sets, and then the Tropical Island thing, which I more recently added into the binder. I was just in a position to buy a bunch of common tropicals, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, why not? And then I think I've got a page somewhere around here with that. This one again, this one I've actually got like 2 holo rares for. The Celebi is really cool. And then missing quite a few of the non-holo rares, and yeah, I'm actually surprised looking through these. I'm a bit surprised how filled out the commons and uncommons are. So yeah, I guess it's mostly just the holo rares and some non-holo rares. The Light Dragonite, that's really neat. I don't particularly like the card itself, but I like Dragonite, and I like the alteration, like Dark Dragonite or Dark Charizard or whatever in Rocket. I like the alteration, the idea of the alteration to the Dragonite. It's pretty neat, and I think it's an uncommon card. 14, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I forgot where I pulled it from. And then a few non-holo rares and some more unknowns. Even more unknowns. Missing a couple cards there. Couple over here, I'm assuming are harder to find trainers. And oh yeah, and then so the Shining cards. These are going to be absolutely killer to get my hands on. I've got one Shining Celebi that I got for very cheap just because it's destroyed. With these cards, I also don't mind having them if in busted condition, just because I'm not going to put the money out there to get good condition variants. But so this is the Shining Celebi. It's not worth much, if anything, because it looks like it was water damaged at some point and whatever. But I'm happy enough with it filling the hole that I will consider the set complete if I've got 3 or 4 or whatever the busted busted cards. I forget how many secret shining cards there are for that set, but yeah. And then so here's the tropical set. I don't think I've got any of the rares, and it looks like it's one page out of 18. So yeah, a single page of tropical, but I at least have the space in the binder, so if I end up with more, I can put them in here. And then legendary. Legendary is going to be an absolutely crazy set. It's the first set that included reverse holo variants of holo and non-holo cards. So you can get cards like this that are just regular whatever, or you can get reverse holo variants, and this is reverse holo done right. It explodes in your face. Look at that. Isn't that nuts? This is how you do a reverse holo. The legendary set is a reprint set of previous sets, like base, jungle, and fossil, and they included the reverse holo. And these things are hard to find. They're expensive, all of them. I don't even know how I'm going to end up with a Charizard reverse holo one of these. I don't expect to. Maybe one day if I'm super lucky. But yeah, this is reverse holo done right, in my opinion. Just look at that. Just explodes in your face with shininess. So my goal is to complete the legendary set, and kind of like with the newer sets that I just started putting together, any chance I've got to get a reverse holo variant, that's what's going in the binder, and I will swap out regular cards for reverse holo cards. And I don't have too many reverse holo in this set, but I'm slowly building this one up too, and there's some neat cards. This is an image from the Black Star promo, which I've got a bit later on in the binder. I've got a reverse holo Dodrio. There's a rocket cards and base set cards, and yeah. So I'm missing quite a bit of the first part of the set. It's out of 110 cards, and there may even be secret cards. I don't even know. I didn't pay too much attention. There's a reverse holo Dodrio and a busted reverse holo Eevee. This thing is so... Oh, and I've got a regular Eevee, maybe because this thing's so busted. Look at this. It's cut right in half, which doesn't... It does. I didn't do this. I treat my cards right. This is all people that I bought from. But it doesn't really show up when in the binder, and reverse holo in this set's just so nice that I didn't have the heart to not include it. One day maybe I'll find a better condition variant, but yeah. So that's my busted reverse holo Eevee, and then I got a Magnemite here. I'm sure that there's some fancy people out there that have just the whole thing reverse holo. I really wonder. It must be really a real treat to flip through pages that are full of reverse holo legendary collection cards. So there's a couple here, and maybe one day I'll have the whole set, and I'll look back on my first video about how I had like under 10 or around 10 or whatever it is. I don't know, but yeah. So these are legendary collection trainers, and then so here's the Black Star promo. I'm missing lots of these. It goes up to I think 50 or something. I think it ends at Ancient Mew. So I've got most of this page, and most of this page. There's the Mewtwo from the legendary set. The Dark Persian is pretty neat with that holo there, and same with the Venusaur. I had a really good condition version of this, but then I traded it away years ago, and I got another one, but it's not in as good condition. The 3 legendary birds. This is a really common old card. I was surprised. I think I've got 5+ of them in my box of rares. Like it's surprising how many people that don't have a single old card except for this one. I don't know what the deal with that is. And then barely anything here, and of course, Ancient Mew. So now we're into the e-reader sets, and these. Like first edition and the legendary reverse holo set, these are going to be a nightmare to get, especially in good condition. I've got a few of the nice cards like Dragonite, but I mean, yeah. And so this 09. So what one of these sets has like a holographic 1 to 30, and then the real set starts or whatever. But I'm very, very low on holos for these guys. I got a holo Blastoise there. That's pretty neat, and it's reverse. These sets also do incorporate reverse holo variants. So even if you've got the full set complete, you could still go for the reverse set, and it'll cost you a bajillion dollars more. You know, but that's you know, for real collectors, they may not be satisfied until they get everything reverse holo. And yeah, these sets are sorely lacking for me. It's going to take some serious eBaying once I'm rich and famous to to get these guys completed. I'm missing so many of these cards. It's nuts. One day, but there's some really cool looking cards, and I've got the e-reader for the Game Boy. Maybe I'll build up I'll build up these sets, and whatever I had that were condition upgrades, all the inferior condition cards, I'll pile together, and maybe one day I'll just I'll stream, or I'll just record swiping them all and see what happens in game, because you know, I've got, like, I'm a video game collector, so I've got Game Boys, and I've got, you know, whatever's. I've got the e-reader thing. I've got the Eon card. Lots of cool video game connectivity stuff. But yeah, this set's just abysmal. So some of the energies for that set, and then this is oh yeah, H4. So this has the like holo precursor to the main set, and I've only got a few of them, 2 of them. Yeah, so I've got 2 of those cards, and then the set begins, and you know, there's some Holo Rare, reverse Holo Rare, whatever. Yeah, these e-reader sets are in the worst shape of my collection, I think, and then is first edition base, and then I guess the Neo rares and Holo Rares, those are rough too. These, I had enough cards that I wanted to add them to the binder, and when I was when I was building my binders, you know, I basically went into Legendary, and then as I bought more collections and got more cards and whatever, I was keeping all the old stuff up until e-reader. So then one day I was just like, you know what, I'll put the e-reader sets in binders too, but they're in such a sad state. I didn't you know, spend any real money to like buy all the commons and whatever. Like, I'm sure I could check out eBay, and maybe there's people selling off the bulk that I could end up with sometime if, you know, I ever put the effort in. But yeah, so like Skyridge, Aquapolis, you know, all those are just awful. I'm gonna have to put some serious effort into them sometime, and when I do, you know, I can get condition improvements too. Some of these cards aren't in the best shape, and then yeah, so then there's these guys. I already lost track of the names of the sets. So like there's EX Ruby and Sapphire here, and these do have like a e-reader stuff on them too. So I guess there's maybe like 6 or 8 sets, or I don't even know. This one, actually, surprisingly, I'm not missing too many of, compared to the other e-reader stuff anyway. Yeah, I got quite a few of these, and again, you know, reverse holo variants. So the I guess the dream is to have all of these, the reverse holo variants, but I mean, you know, that's not reasonable for me at this time. Oh yeah, and then they started with the EXs here. So So a couple nice EXs. I'm sure that there's nicer ones. You know, I've got Lapras and Sneasel. The secret cards and the ending. Oh yeah, maybe these are EXs as well, but the cards go to 109 and this Sneasel is 103. So I guess those the energies end the set. Maybe there's some secret cards. I'm not sure, but and then these guys they're also e-reader. Got a reverse holo variant there. Yeah, these final sets are a bit foreign to me. I had enough cards that I decided to put them into binders, but I've got a long way to go. That's a really cool Jolteon, the reverse holo. I like evolution, some more than others, of course. I know that, you know, most people that like evolutions have their favorite, but I think that's a really nice card. I like the art. It isn't a holo card, but the rest of the card minus the art is holo, which is neat. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And actually getting close to the end of the binder. Yeah, so my binders go from first edition base all the way to the e-reader sets. I may expand. I only found out more recently when I started building the newer sets, the Black, White, XY, Sun, Moon, that there actually isn't too much in the way of generations between my final set here and the first that I started building, that I'm starting to record, you know, putting together. So maybe I'll just go for the whole thing, you know, the whole shebang, and maybe one day I'll have, you know, a good chunk of them knocked out, right? The Gardevoir here is nice. I really like the old EX cards. The art's more simple, you know. They don't have like full art going all the way down and whatever. But there's something classic about them for me, I think. And whenever I see old EXs, I'm like, that is a more desirable card. They tend to be more valuable overall. I don't really pay attention too much to the value of cards, because when they go in the binder, at least now, once upon a time it wasn't like that, but now if they go in the binder, I don't care what the value is. I don't want to know, because then, you know, it's like, oh, $1 million card. Well, you know, I could buy a house, or not actually, but, you know, like if they go in the binder now and for the last couple of years or a year or whatever, I'd prefer to not know, you know. I want to fill out the sets, and the only reason really to pay attention is to know how much it's going to hit my wallet if I want to add a specific card, because if I'm one card away, you know, the Rocket set, I'm missing a few cards. I might have to bite the bullet and trade some nice stuff, or just buy them. So I guess that's a reason to pay attention to the values. But besides that, yeah, I'm just slowly going through trying to build them, and I've made some good progress over the years. Definitely the first binder is more full than the second binder. The second binder, I don't even know what it's going to cost, and in terms of time and financially, to fill these guys out. The legendary set, and yeah, the shining cards, just wow. Yeah. But anyway, so that's the current state of my old cards. I got some really nice stuff. I'm missing way too much nice stuff, but, you know, over time, with dedication and you know, lots of sorting and keeping my eyes open, hopefully I'll fill these binders out even more. And I do need to replace the binders. I've got one or two old nice ones, you know, the ones that are actually desirable, and people spend a substantial amount of money on them, but I don't want to use a binder like that for these, because, you know, these binders are in and out. I'm constantly dinging them and whatever, and they're doing their job keeping the cards safe, but they're not safe themselves, right? So I've got it right here. I can just pull it out. So this is an original binder from the 90s, you know. So I've got this one here. It's in really good condition. I don't think that there's too many imperfections there. It's got a bit of those binder dings. I don't know what the best way to show them is. Like, you know, over here, right? These guys. Yeah, but so this is a nice binder, and I wouldn't want to, like, maybe if the sets are complete, I'll put them in here and I just won't touch them, because I don't want to hurt the binder, because, you know, they're not easy to find anymore, and they've got a bit of value to them. I don't want to spend more, you know. It says Wizards of the Coast on it. That's pretty cool. You know, the original Pokemon sets, they were made by Wizards of the Coast, the same guys that do Magic, and now I think Pokemon cards are made by what I forget the company. It's like the one that makes Sorry and board games and whatever. So yeah, that's pretty neat. And I guess one other final little treat. Two of the prides of my collection that I've got no idea what to do with, actually. Unopened, I'm assuming mint. Probably able to grade them, you know, PSA 10 out of 10. Shadowless Charizard base set booster packs, and the blister packs that the boosters are in are, of course, not mint, but they're in really good shape, and the booster packs inside are simply gorgeous, and it doesn't hurt that they're both you know, the Charizard pack. I've got no idea what to do with these, and I don't want to trade them. I don't want to sell them. I don't want to open them, and I don't want to not open them. So maybe one day, if money isn't an issue for me at all, I might just you know, if I've got a following, I might just go up on Twitch and you know, hey guys, I'm gonna open these 2 booster packs. You know, come watch, see what I get. That might be a neat way to go about them. But I don't know what to do with them, so I keep them tucked away, you know, safe, and maybe one day I'll decide. But they're a really neat collectible piece. You can tell that they're shadowless because the text 11 tradable game cards. I forget what it's supposed to say for base set. It says something a little bit different, but also they've got this little 5-card graphic here. Sorry, it's not showing very well. That doesn't exist on the base set, and if they were first edition, they would say there would be a first edition stamp somewhere on them. So, but because they don't have the first edition, but they've got that little graphic of the small cards there. They are shadowless booster packs. So I think that these are really neat. Yeah, and I keep them safe and tucked away. And I don't know, maybe I'll keep them like this forever. I don't know, maybe I'll drive down to you know, PSA or whatever, crack them, and be like, grade these packs and put them in, you know, PSA 10 things and never to be opened again. I don't know. Yeah, but those are pretty cool, and this is technically part of my original collection, I guess. So that's them. Yeah. So that is my original collection. I'm gonna do a video like this 1 year from now, again around my next birthday, and I'll see if my collection has improved, and if so, how much. And a few years down the road, it'll be fun to look back at this video and see how weak my collection was, because I intend to grow these bad boys. So thank you very much for watching. Please consider subscribing or following or whatever platform this ends up on. If you want to see more trading card game and video game content, because both are going to be popping up. Later.